Ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is my channel. I am going to have a mango Claffey's frozen cocktail. I don't know, it's Wonder Mango, Under Mango, something like that. Really weird font. Anyway, we're going to talk about the fact that I can't stop food blogging. And I mean, mind you, I'm consuming a beverage with alcohol in it in this video because I'm a food blogger. It is my hobby. And, you know, well, that's pathetic. I'm a food blogger, it's my hobby, and, you know, I have old inventory sitting about, so I have to, you know, blog. And I have to consume the old inventory sometimes, so in order to space it all out, you know, I'm going to have to add something to this. I didn't realize how small these things were. They're 6% alcohol, but I'd have to pretty much down 4 of them before I get any kind of a buzz going. I'm not a big drinker. I'm just drinking this to get rid of it because I don't want to throw it out. But, you know. And just as a note, the ice is weird here. The ice is weird here because this was frozen in the glass. You know, it was frozen in the glass because when I was done with the last video where I used this, I just put it in the freezer. Okay? Putting it in the freezer stops. Do I have napkins? I don't have napkins. But I have my custom old shirt that I will wipe this down with. Anyway, so, you know, I save the ice by putting it in the freezer. It's one less glass to wash because bacteria doesn't grow, and I'm the only one putting my mouth on it, so any bacteria on that is the bacteria in my mouth already. This is a practice I intend to stop doing when I have 1 year's worth of content filmed ahead of schedule, of course, because at that point you've got a glass sitting in your freezer for way too long. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you would be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. I think these glasses were especially made to force you to drink slowly. Mango 7-Up Shirley Temple is divine. Anyway, so you know I'm a food blogger, and one of my typical rules is I want a year's worth of content in a row scheduled on all of my blogs and all of my YouTube channels. This is much harder than you think it is, right? I have one, as I film this, I have one blog, that is my food blog, that has more than 365 posts, and they're not in a row. You know, typically speaking, with the holidays, I take advantage of the after-holiday sales. 2024's after the holiday sales were really lackluster, so, you know, there wasn't as much for particularly Halloween for me to get. So, you know, filling up those days is going to take a lot longer. And, you know, so I have that gap. But I have something like 377 blog posts for my food blog. And yesterday, I believe I shot 4 products for my food blog. And then this morning, I got up. I had to have something with no sugar in it to make a video, talk about my dream. Every time I have a weird dream, I try to talk about my weird dreams. And then, to come in here and make this video, I obviously had to have a meal because I'm consuming alcohol. I never drink on an empty stomach. I did that once. I got very sick. In fairness, I was drinking because someone had died. Which was like, yes, I have a particular death ritual drink, and it's a particularly powerful drink, for me anyway, and when I drank that thing, I got sick, I drank it on an empty stomach, I started having pain, and I threw it all up, and that's a waste of good alcohol. So I'm like, well, let me make sure that from now on, I'm going to make sure I have a healthy meal before eating. Something that is going to prevent the alcohol from coming into my system. And this morning, despite the fact that I have 377 food blogs ready to go, they're all posted and scheduled. And I have 4 more to write today because yesterday before going to sleep, I took pictures for 4 more. I sat down and said, okay, I've got 1 more. I'm going to have a meal. I'm cooking. And I am going to shoot for a blog. So I did that, of course. And I'm going, should I even be doing this? Yeah, okay, you're going to have a blog sometime. And one of the things that happens to me is I will keep shooting these, but I won't, finish them. So then the number on the website goes down, and I drop below 365, which is my target. And when I do that, I just go, okay, well, that's annoying. But this morning, I didn't have any food prepped, which is a thing for me. I've done food prep. And if I had food prep, I probably would have, just eaten that. So one of my general goals is that every time I cook, I try to have something with that meal that I can blog about. And the reason for that, of course, is because, with a streamlined life, I cook a lot less. So every time I cook, every time I blog, I want to have the food as it should be eaten. Fast food is a cheat meal to me. Okay, I'm trying to lose weight. Fast food is a cheat meal. I'm allowed 2 of them per week once everything is rolling. I eat way more than that. Let's be honest. Look at me. I'm trying to reduce the fast food. I used to eat fast food every day. I'm going down to I think I'm down to 3 or 4 times a week. And, it's like every time I go to get fast food, I do food blogging of some kind. It's like now I come in here and I make a video, all right? Making that video is what's important. So, if I'm going to have McDonald's hamburgers, I look at McDonald's website, I say, what haven't I blogged? All right, find the thing you haven't blogged. I go on, I get that thing, and I take the glamour shots of it, and I come in here and I make a video for Random Street Theater, not for this channel, for Random Street Theater. And then I've got another video. I make the most out of that meal. So if I'm not doing that, if I'm not doing a professional meal, so to speak, or a hobby meal, I guess you would say, because I'm not really getting paid for it, I want to have prepped food so that I'm just doing less dishes, you know. But it is on the weird side that I just keep pushing this even though I've gone as far as I really need to. I mean, you know, I should be focusing on other things. In fact, instead of making this video, because I'm way ahead of schedule on this channel, I should be making videos for other channels to try and build them up. And I mean, you know, it's gotten to the point where I need to film less videos and do more rendering because my rendering is the problem. But that's just the thing, you know. So anyway, I mean, I don't know if I have a point to this. I'm blogging. I'm here. People seem to enjoy hearing me talk, watching me drink. So I do this. I do this to get the most out of my dollar, you know. The stuff in this glass is something I purchased for a blog. I have it left over after the blog, or I decided it wasn't suitable for a blog, so now I'm blogging. You know, I am sitting here and blogging and making this blog because, you know, I want to get the most out of that experience. Hopefully I'm making the lives around me, the lives of my subscribers, better by making content they enjoy and things they can relate to, and basically adding to a life that is more pleasurable, less painful. I have always said that leading a good... Well, no, I have not always said that. But I say that leading a good life is removing more suffering than you create. And do I create suffering? We all do. In some way, we create suffering. Okay? It may be unintentional. It may be... through malice. It may be through simply living your life. I mean, look. Right now the lights are on. I'm in California. This is the greenest energy in the country. But that doesn't mean I'm not creating a carbon footprint. I mean, you know, this is going in a landfill at some point. All right? It could be recycled. It could be burnt for energy. All right? You burn this for energy, you create carbon in the atmosphere. Now, I've actually written the governor of the state of California saying that we should build a carbon sequestration plant. I cited one that already exists. And not only is it a carbon sequestration plant, but it's a carbon sequestration plant with a garden on top of it so that there are plants. But, you know, I've done my absolute best to reduce the amount of suffering I create, and it's not enough. Not enough to mean that I don't create some kind of suffering. So these videos are a method of trying to reduce suffering in the world by bringing other people joy. I don't know if it works, but thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.